And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln, and welcome to this incredible Scheels. Your first look at it, and we're very happy to have with us the guy running this place, Pete Philippi. Pete, this is just absolutely amazing. It's not a store, it's an experience.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. Excited to show you the space.
Yeah, talk about this space. I mean, it's just massive.
Yeah, the Scheels store here in Tulsa is 313,000 square feet with all kinds of attractions, of course, lots of product. There's things for entertainment, but of course, all the brands and things you would know and love from a sporting goods store.
75 specialty shops are contained in the facility here. Experts in almost every department, everything any sportsman would need.
Yeah, absolutely. Our hope is that the Tulsa area will have a bunch of first looks at new brands, different product offerings. And when we try to cover 75 specialty shops, seems like a lot, but I'll tell you, people in Tulsa have a lot of passions and interests, and we're excited to try to do our best to meet them all.
Pete, give us some of the history of this incredible corporation, Scheels, where it all began, and how many stores, how many states right now?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Scheels started in 1902 from the sale of 3 acres of potatoes. The Scheel family bought a small hardware store, general store in Sabin, Minnesota. And since then, it's continued to evolve and grow, first with a few hardware stores, then eventually the addition of sporting goods. Then it was half sporting goods. Then someone took the brave leap and did an all sports store. Then it expanded bigger, 20,000 square feet, 50,000. Eventually a 100,000 foot all sports store, 2 levels. And then it just continued to go from there all the way up to this store now, which is over 300,000 square feet of sports, sporting goods, fashion, clothing, of course, lots of attractions, footwear, and everything for the outdoors person and activities alike. So.
This is the 34th store for Scheels. There's 16 states. What took you so long to get to Oklahoma?
Right, I'll tell you, it's a perfect storm. It takes us a long time to build a Scheels store. It takes over 2 years to build one of these. Yeah. And it kind of, everything has to line up. There has to be enough space. There has to be the right schedule, and then of course the right market, and Tulsa is for sure the right market. We are honored to be here. What a great just place for the outdoorsmen, but also the activities enthusiasts, sports enthusiasts, and of course there's just so many things that Tulsa does better than everybody else, in my opinion. I'm kind of biased, but fishing, hunting, football, softball, baseball, I could go on.
And every store needs a Ferris wheel.
Of course, yeah.
It's what, how 65 feet tall?
65-foot Ferris wheel, yeah, 16 cars.
Wow.
And we want, of course, as many families to ride as possible. It's just $1 to ride. So.
And the saltwater fish tank, a nice touch too.
Yeah. When you walk into the store, you walk under a double-arched aquarium. It's 16,000 gallons, saltwater tank with 400 fish.
We were doing a tour the other day of the store with your buddy, Mr. Brown here, took good care of us here, and had Michael's little boy, Wyatt, with us. He was really enhanced by the Fuzzy Wiggs candy shop.
Yeah.
Tell us about that store.
Yeah, the candy shop is a great experience for, of course, family, but anybody with a sweet tooth, of course. And I love that it's kind of an immersive experience. Not only are you in there, but you can watch them dip the chocolates or chocolate dipped Oreos.
Oh,
they get carried away. They'll dip almost anything in chocolate in there. So it's a lot of fun.
And for you got to work an appetite up with this store here, and a good place to eat here and stuff. Gina's Cafe, serving some really outstanding soups, sandwiches, and homemade fudge.
Yeah. What an eclectic kind of group of things in our cafe. It's kind of evolved over time, but there's bulk jerky in there, there's fudge, there's roasted Bavarian nuts, there's coffee shop, and then soup and sandwiches, pizza, and again, we could go on.
Talking about construction for more than 2 years, I've been so impressed in the last couple of times I've been in the store by the employees. Great enthusiasm, a lot of young people, and a lot of area people here too.
Yeah, the total crew complement is over 500. Wow. Our company in the 90s, our company became an ESOP company, so it's an employee-owned company. Yeah. And as a result, full-timers and folks that work enough hours, they become ESOP shareholders. They're owners of the company, so it's employee-owned. We hire the vast majority of them locally, and we only transferred about 50 employees, so the rest are all local Tulsans or Oklahoma residents, and that means it's locally owned and it's operated by locals.
All right, let's set the standards now. Let's talk about the hours, the days, and 7 days a week, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. From, of course, Monday through Saturday, we open at 9:30 in the morning and close at 9 at night. And then Sundays are 10 to 6. And of course, we are excited. We'll extend the hours a little bit for the holiday. That'll be posted online and the like. But we're really excited to get the doors open.
What do you have for special events planned around the October 19th opening?
Yeah, October 19th is our grand opening. So at 7 a.m. in our parking lot, we will have all kinds of people gathered, of course, with drum lines, marching bands, cheerleaders. We'll have mascots from a bunch of the local schools. We'll have vendors doing giveaways and treats and food trucks, all kinds of stuff. A big party from 7 a.m. all the way until we cut the ribbon at 9:30, and then come in, of course, to see the store and shop.
We have a couple of their experts who can join us. They're fishing expert and they're bike expert later on in the show here. So, Pete, thank you so much.
Yeah,
congratulations to
thank you,
Scheels.
of course.
We're excited to have you in Oklahoma.
Glad to be here.
All right, well, let us know what's coming up on Oklahoma Sports Scene this week. First week of October, we'll have, of course, our Scheels department heads coming up, as we mentioned, talking about fishing and bikes. Our Big Four football featuring the Sooner Magic, where they pulled off that win over Auburn. Michael Knight is here, the prep football recap, and taking a look at the big Jenks Union game and the Jenks Union game, the Jenks Bixby game, and the Union Owasso game coming up this weekend. Oklahoma Derby, Remington Park's richest race, was run this past Sunday. We'll have the entire race to show you with that. And we come back, we'll have our Big Four football recap. Look ahead to this weekend as well. All coming up in Oklahoma Sports Scene, all from the magnificent store, Scheels, the experience, coming to Oklahoma October 19th.
Hello, Tulsa. Scheels All Sports Store is opening October 19th at the Woodland Hills Mall. Join us in the parking lot for the grand opening party at 7 a.m. with doors officially opening at 9:30. Step inside to the ultimate retail experience. Shop your favorite brands, meet our Scheels experts, and enjoy entertainment like a Ferris wheel or Fuzzywigs Candy Factory. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Scheels has something for you. Join us for Scheels grand opening on October 19th.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
And welcome back inside the fabulous new Scheels store, opening on October the 19th and connected to Woodland Hills Mall, by the way. Either the first or the second floor to get in this place. Store hours 9:30 in the morning till 9 at night, Monday through Saturday, and Sundays open as well. All here at Scheels. And let's talk about our Big Four football. Wrap things up for this past weekend. Of course, the big story was the Sooner Magic performed by OU, beating Auburn 27-22, and I gave the Sooners an A+. Not for most of the game, but in that fourth quarter they deserved the A+. Oklahoma State, what's happened to the Cowboys? 20th ranked Cowboys now out of the top 25. Took a beating at Kansas State 42-20. Offense looked bad, defense looked worse. I gave them an F. Arkansas, so many chances. They've been so close so many times this season, especially down there at Jerry's World AT&T Stadium. That traditional game against Texas A&M down there, the last of that series. Now they'll go campus to campus from now on. Arkansas had their chances but couldn't pull it off. Texas A&M, number 24 in the nation, beat the Razorbacks 21-17. Had to give the Hogs a C. And Tulsa got overwhelmed at North Texas State, 52-20. Hurricane did not look good in that game. Got a D for that. So let's look ahead now. Here are the schedule for this weekend. The first Saturday in October for our college football teams. And Tulsa has a big opponent coming in, Army. The Cadets are undefeated, 4-0. First visit to Tulsa, Oklahoma, now part of the American Athletic Conference. You want to go out and see this one. 11 a.m. kickoff on ESPNU. Army 4-0 against Tulsa 2-3 at Chapman Stadium. Get out there and support the Golden Hurricane. Oklahoma State tries to bounce back at home. They'll host West Virginia. That game is 3 o'clock kickoff on ESPN2. Tennessee, 5th ranked after having the week off following the Oklahoma victory. They play at Arkansas this week. Razorbacks, big bounce back. 6:30 p.m. evening primetime game for the Hogs. That's on ABC Sports. Oklahoma, as you mentioned, their open date this week. Then next week, the 12th of October, it is Texas time, and the game will be on ABC or ESPN. They haven't set that yet, but the game kickoff is set for 2:30 in the afternoon. Now let's take a look at the Associated Press Top 25 College Football Poll. There's a new leader at the top of the poll. In fact, for the third time in 5 weeks, it's the new number one. We started the course with Georgia. We bounced that and went to Texas. Then now taking over the top spot is Alabama. They got 40 first-place votes, moved up 3 spots after beating Georgia. Texas, number 2, slipped to second, 19 first-place votes, down 1. Ohio State remained a steady third with 4 first-place votes. That took care of the first-place voting. Now the rest of the top 25, Georgia, with that incredible comeback and then losing in the final seconds, they fell 3 spots from 2 to number 5, followed by Oregon, Penn State, Miami of Florida, Missouri. Strong Missouri went up 2, 9th in the standings. And rounding out the top 10, defending national champions Michigan, up 2 spots to number 10. Lincoln Riley's USC Trojans up 2 spots to number 11. Then Ole Miss fell 6 spots this week in the poll after losing a surprise game to Kentucky. LSU up 1 spot to 13. Notre Dame, 14, is up 2 spots. Clemson up 2 as well to number 15. Iowa State, the Big 12, jumps up 2 spots to 16. Another Big 12 team, BYU, 17th, also in the Big 12. Utah, 18. They fell 8 spots in that rating. Oklahoma is up 2 spots after the win at Auburn. Sooners number 19 in the nation. Kansas State 20, Boise State 21, then Louisville, Indiana, Illinois, and for the first time ever, UNLV without their $100,000 quarterback won their game and moved up to number 25, first time ever in the national poll. Oklahoma State out of the top 25. Now our Tulsa Pro Soccer update. FC Tulsa was on the West Coast this past Sunday, the 29th, playing the Oakland Roots. They scored an important 1-0 victory. The only goal of the match scored in the 7th minute by Aaron Baboot, his 3rd of the season with FC Tulsa. The match was then turned over to the Tulsa defense. The brilliant play of goalkeeper Johan Penaranda earned his 7th clean sheet of the season. Now with the win, FC Tulsa has 34 points. That's just 1 point out of the 8th and final United Soccer League playoff spot. They have 4, by the way, of the next 5 October matches at home, starting this Saturday, 7:30 p.m., as FC Tulsa hosts El Paso Locomotive at One Oak Field. Major League Baseball playoffs postseason is underway. 4 rounds of playoffs. Best of 3 wild card series this week, followed by the best of 5 division series, then the 2 league championships and World Series, best of 7. 2024 World Series is scheduled to open October the 25th, so the potential Game 7 could end November the 2nd. And ready or not, the NBA preseason is underway this weekend. Oklahoma City will be ready to play its first exhibition game next Monday, October 7th at San Antonio. The Thunder, in its 17th season in Oklahoma City, comes to Tulsa for a Thursday, October 10th preseason game against a young touring team from New Zealand. That game at the BOK Center tips at 7 p.m. Get there and support the Thunder at the BOK. And hockey fans, the Ice Orders invite you to its preseason party next Tuesday, October the 8th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the BOK Center. Orders have a first ever preseason game then on October the 12th, Saturday. They'll host Wichita, and that'll be in the Wee Street Ice Center. And the National Hockey League drops the puck on October the 8th. 3 games to open the 24-25 NHL season. Next, we'll talk Sooner Magic with Tulsa World Eric Bailey when we return right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene from Scheels.
Hello, Tulsa. Scheels All Sports Store is opening October 19th at the Woodland Hills Mall. Join us in the parking lot for the grand opening party at 7 a.m. with doors officially opening at 9:30. Step inside to the ultimate retail experience. Shop your favorite brands, meet our Scheels experts, and enjoy entertainment like a Ferris wheel or Fuzzy-Wig's Candy Factory. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Scheels has something for you. Join us for Scheels' grand opening on October 19th.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Well, that was the first experience at Sooner Magic as a head coach. Boy, was that an amazing last 4 drives for offense and defense. Great example of just kind of sticking together.
For 50 minutes of Oklahoma's first SEC road game, Auburn dominated, built a 21-10 fourth quarter lead. But the Sooners, starting a freshman quarterback in Michael Hawkins and then having 5 receivers out with injuries, fought back and showed the Auburn fans true Sooner magic. When sophomore linebacker number 10, Kip Lewis, the SEC Defensive Player of the Week, by the way, intercepted this pass, returned it 60 yards for the 27-21 victory, true Sooner magic. OU, by the way, now a perfect 5-0 all-time on the road against SEC teams. Joining us now via Zoom, a veteran of Oklahoma football, Eric Bailey. He is the beat reporter for the Tulsa World. I asked Eric what the atmosphere was like in the plains at Auburn, Alabama.
You know, Chris, that was my first time to Auburn. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it would be special, and I tell you, it was a lot of fun. The fan base was great. The atmosphere was amazing. To see the Eagle flight before the game, I was looking forward to that, and it was better in person than anything I could have imagined. And 88,000 fans. You know, it was my first experience at an SEC stadium for a conference game. And it was better than I imagined. We had went Friday to pick up our credentials, and we kind of snuck into the stadium that afternoon and the Friday afternoon walked around. We visited Toomer's Corner, saw the trees, got some lemonade, walked downtown. Great time, great atmosphere.
How was the OU fan representation?
Nice representation, pet band. You heard Boomer Sooner. They represented. They were loud, and you know it was funny when the amazing pick six happened to give Oklahoma the lead. You heard Boomer Sooner being played. You heard the OU fan base and stunned the Auburn crowd. It was just as you imagined. They represented well, and you know a lot of the OU fans I saw on the flight coming back from Auburn said that the Auburn fans were very, very courteous. It was very, very neat, and that was good to hear.
All right, did you or the OU press corps, did any of you guys really believe through 3 quarters that Oklahoma was going to win that football game?
Chris, you know what? It really was resemblant of that OU Tennessee game in 2015 when Oklahoma went to Tennessee, and through 3 quarters in that game, you felt there was no way Oklahoma was going to beat Tennessee. That was Baker Mayfield's 3rd game. That was Lincoln Riley's 3rd game, and Oklahoma struggled, and OU found a way in overtime to win that game with a miraculous 4th quarter. That's what it felt like in Auburn. You just really felt there was no way that Oklahoma was going to pull it out. And the way Oklahoma was able to make big plays in the 4th quarter, not only offensively by moving the football with the long pass to J.J. Hester, but defensively with the Kip Lewis interception and the long touchdown pass. You know, number 10 made a big play. It reminded you of number 10 against Texas A&M in 2000, making a big interception to save that season. This could be a turning point for the Sooners with what Kip Lewis was able to do with that interception. It was a big play. No, there was no way we thought Oklahoma was going to win that game when they were down like they were in the 4th quarter.
Well, they say Sooner Magic began on a cold November gray day in Lincoln, Nebraska in 1976. And I remember it because I was there. And when OU came back miraculously on Nebraska, they had were down by 17-7 the start of the 4th quarter. They cut it to 4 points with about 3 minutes left. OU had the ball on their own 16-yard line. I'll never forget this play when Steve Rhodes, halfback, a receiver really, had a 60-yard pass completion downfield to Elvis Peacock. Then they ran a hook and lateral that took Peacock down to the 3-yard line. OU scored the next play to unbelievably beat Nebraska. And that really set the stage for so many of those OU Nebraska games, especially that really had some Sooner magic too. In fact, I was looking back at this, Eric. OU came from behind. They won 12 games in the period of the 17 games of OU Nebraska with Coach Switzer. And 8 times they came back in the 4th quarter to win. Truly Sooner magic.
See, I grew up and I remember those Sooner Magic games. I remember Keith Jackson making the big catch down the sideline. I remember that game. And then you remember, you go back and you remember all kinds of Sooner Magic games in that OU Nebraska series. And I remember the game I just talked about with Torrance Marshall making the big catch at Texas and A&M to come back and win that game. That was a Sooner Magic game. So, and in Brent Venables, first during his first opening statement, the first thing he said is, as a head coach, I guess I just experienced my first Sooner Magic. So yeah, Sooner Magic lives, and the SEC got to experience Sooner Magic. They understand what Sooner Magic is, and it's just appropriate that Oklahoma's very first SEC victory was a Sooner Magic game, and that's exactly what this was, because there was no way Oklahoma, I don't want to say deserved to win this game. They deserved to win it because they came back and won. But really, they clutched a win out of the hands of defeat, because it really seemed like they weren't going to win this game when they were down. You think about it, 8 minutes to go, they were down what they were, and they come back and win this game. 17 points in the last 8 minutes. It was a pretty big win.
How big do you think that win was for this young and injury-riddled Sooner football team?
You look at this roster, Chris, and how hurt this roster is. How many, they're down their top 5 wide receivers. They started a true freshman quarterback. They have a first year offensive coordinator. If you told anyone, any team, not just Oklahoma, any team, that's what you're going into, and then you play the schedule that they're playing, it's going to be a long year, and it's not going to get any easier. If you look at 5 of their next 7 games are against teams that are ranked ahead of them in the AP top 25 poll. They still have 5 games against ranked opponents that are ranked, I believe, in the top 12 of the top 25 poll in their conference. So it does not get any easier, but still they needed that confidence boost, and that's what they got. They needed to feel good going into Texas. That's what they got. They needed confidence going into a bye week, and that's what they got. So they get this week to get well, rest, recovery, and it's a good week to have a week off.
What do you expect in that Red River rivalry on the 12th against the undefeated Texas?
You know what? I've learned, this will be my 14th, 15th Red River game to cover. I lost count. I've learned to expect the unexpected. Never go in there with a predetermined thought in your head, because you never know what's going to happen in a game like this. Last year I thought Oklahoma was going to lose and they won. And there's been years when I thought Oklahoma was going to blow Texas out, and it hadn't happened. So I've learned not to expect the unexpected. My head tells me there's no way OU's going to win this game, but I've learned that, you never know what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens. Brent Venables' defense is the best, plays at its best in big moments, and this is a veteran defense. So we'll see what happens. I don't know who's going to quarterback the Longhorns. That's the thing. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be for the Longhorns. So we'll see what happens on Saturday, October 12th.
OU Sooner beat writer of the Tulsa World, Eric Bailey, joining us and wrapping up the Auburn game. And thanks for some memories on Sooner Magic. Eric, appreciate the time, buddy, as always. Thank you.
Anytime, Chris.
All right, come right back with Michael Knight talking about high school football, recap of the first week of district play. That's straight ahead, right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
You've seen the billboards, you've heard the hype, and now it's time for the Wee Street Ice Center to open its doors and welcome you in. 140,000 square feet, 2 ice rinks, public skating, hockey, arcade, game simulators, and the largest sports bar and grill is sliding into Tulsa. It's the grand opening of the new Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale. Make your plans, get your skate on, or watch some sports today. The Wee Street Ice Center, now open and ready to serve you. Wee Street Ice Center, 43rd and Yale.
Around the clock, throughout eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
We're back on Oklahoma Sports Scene inside the magnificent Scheels store. They don't call it a store, they call it an experience. Michael Knight joining us here to talk high school football. But first, Michael, what's your first impression of this place? We're not as cold as Wee Street Ice Center.
Yeah, it's not as cold. It's magnificent. I mean, it definitely blows you away. People in the Tulsa area are going to love this. And I've been so impressed with Scheels and the impact they've immediately had on the Tulsa area with some of the local high schools. Right. I know that they sponsor a lot of different things at Union. I know they do the same thing with Owasso. So they haven't even opened the store yet, and they're immediately invested in the Tulsa metro area. I love it.
Michael, of course, covering our high school football scene, and the big game in 6A1, the big showdown, Bixby and Jenks last week. Your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, so, I mean, you got to tip your cap to Bixby and specifically their defense, holding Jenks and their rushing attack to less than 100 yards. There's not many times that's going to – I don't think that will happen again this year. Yeah. So, I mean, to do that, to really control the ball offensively, this game was tied 7-7 at halftime. And then Bixby just came out and flipped that switch, so to speak, in the second half, ran away, and really just had control of this game really in the third and fourth quarter. Really impressed with their two quarterbacks, Carson Kirby, Cooper Parker. Both of them had really good games. And the thing that makes that work so well is they both bring something different to the table. So really great win for Bixby. Jenks, they're in a spot that they're not very familiar with at 1-3. Going into week 5, but you know, like we've said for the last month, these teams are going to look so different when we see them again in November and December, and you know that they're going to end up playing each other again.
You went out west for your feature game. Talk about that game.
Yeah, so on Thursday night, I started in Norman with Norman North and Edmond Memorial, and I mentioned on last week's show, Edmond Memorial, their star quarterback, David McComb, he's committed to Kansas. He's been committed to Kansas for about a year now. Oh. Very dynamic QB, very underrated runner, and he proved that in the win against Norman North. They won 21-6. He threw for nearly 200 yards, ran for over 100 yards. He had one of the best touchdown runs that I've seen this year, and it came from a quarterback. He got loose on a bootleg. He decided to tuck the ball and run. He was going to throw it, decided, hey, you know what? All those defenders out there aren't looking at me. I can just go on and scoot down the sideline. Halfway through the run, he absolutely trucks a Norman North defender and then races the 30 yards for a touchdown. It was one of the more impressive runs I've seen this year. He definitely is one of the top quarterbacks in Oklahoma.
Another star district play. I was a little surprised with Del City. Boy, they just dominated Collinsville.
Yeah, that was supposed to be my featured game in week 4. But as soon as I found out that Collinsville was going to be without their starting quarterback and without their starting running back, who's gotten off to a great start this year, I knew that things probably weren't going to go well on homecoming for the Cardinals. So Collinsville, they fall short 61-10. That's another scenario where, look, if they're at full strength, 61-10 was the final. It's still going to be, Del City. Del City really impressed me. They controlled both sides of the line of scrimmage. They attack things defensively. Really impressed with the Eagles. And this is a team that made it to the 5A championship game a year ago. They fell short to Carl Albert. I thought they would take somewhat of a step back just because of the guys that they lost to graduation. Going on the road and beating Collinsville 61-10 tells me they're not taking a step back to anybody. They're going to be in contention in Class 5A.
All right, that's district play underway now. Let's pick it up with the games this week. And everybody's kind of looking forward to 6A1. Number 1, Owasso visits number 3, Union.
Yeah, can Owasso be beat? That's kind of the consensus. We're kind of near the halfway mark of the regular season. The Rams have beaten Bixby. They've beaten Jenks. Now they try to take care of Union. And also, by the way, last week, the Rams were really impressive in that runaway win over Broken Arrow at home. And I made this comparison to someone a few weeks ago. Owasso is really starting to remind me of the Bixby teams over the last couple of years, where you have to play perfect against them because they're not going to make mistakes and they're going to capitalize on yours. Look at what they did against Broken Arrow last week. That game was kind of close at halftime. A couple turnovers in the third quarter for Broken Arrow, and just like that, Owasso's up by 30. So you can't do that. And with Union, They struggled with turnovers last week against Edmond Santa Fe. They got the win. They struggled with turnovers, though. They struggled with penalties. You can't afford to do that against a team like Owasso because they've proven so far through the first half of the season that they're going to make you pay every single time. And like we've said each week, the Rams are the team to beat right now in 6A1. Other teams will have something to say about it, and we'll find out on Friday night if the Rams can make a clean sweep of the Tulsa metro area.
About some other games, a couple of highly ranked teams. Putnam City at Choctaw.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Choctaw last week. Their offense is very dynamic. They can beat teams in the passing game. They can beat teams in the running game. They put up over 50 last week on the road against Piedmont. That game was tied at 28 at halftime, but they ran away with it in the second half. Really impressed with the Yellow Jackets. If they're going to be that state championship contender in 6A2, Stillwater's in the mix. Of course, Muskogee's your defending champion. Everyone's looking, who's after that? It could be Choctaw, maybe Putnam City. I really like what they've done so far this season. But if it is going to be Choctaw, you got to win this game, and you got to come out and make a statement to the rest of 6A2 that you are that top team in the class.
Other games you're going to keep an eye on this weekend?
Yeah, the game I'll be at on Friday night is a big one in Class 2A. Jones at Millwood. I'll head down to Oklahoma City for that one as Millwood just absolutely put it on their opponent last week, putting up 50 points in the first quarter alone. I've never seen that. I've seen 50 at halftime. They had 50 at the end of the first quarter. Dominant win by Millwood, but they're going to host Jones, and that's number 2 versus number 3 in that class. So both of those teams are state championship contenders, and we get to see it in Week 5. I'm definitely going to have an eye on that game. It's one of the best games of this week, and you can check out all of the top games for Week 5 on Prep Redzone Oklahoma. There's a ton of them, Chris, where I try to put out each week our 10 best games of the week. Most of the times I don't follow my own rules because there's so many good games across the state, and I want to talk about more than just 10 games. So this week we have our 10 marquee games and then 5 more as well that you can follow. I'm going to have an eye on Jinx. How do they bounce back? They have Norman coming to town. Norman is a surprising 4-0 team. There's some other good games in 6A1. Bixby going on the road to face Moore, a surprising undefeated team who got a big win over Mustang last week. So there's a lot of good games across the state of Oklahoma at all levels too. That's the beauty of it. It's 6A1 all the way down. Great football all across the state.
Into October, Monday night, PrepRedzoneOklahoma.com. That's the one to get to and to get all the information here. Michael, I guess if you need any equipment for any of these athletes, they got it all here at Scheels, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's your one-stop shop for just about everything. And like I said at the beginning, man, so impressed with what they've done in the Tulsa area already. Not even open yet, and they've invested in the Tulsa Metro and some of the schools in this area as well. And as a guy who, I invest in our schools, covering them and giving them as much exposure as possible, I definitely tip my cap to them. It's great.
Well, you into fishing? Well, Scheels certainly is. We're going to have their fishing expert on the show. It's coming up next. I know, Oklahoma Sportscene. Get ready to go fishing.
Hello, Tulsa. Scheels All Sports Store is opening October 19th at the Woodland Hills Mall. Join us in the parking lot for the grand opening party at 7 a.m. with doors officially opening at 9:30. Step inside to the ultimate retail experience. Shop your favorite brands, meet our Scheels experts, and enjoy entertainment like a Ferris wheel or Fuzzywigs Candy Factory. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Scheels has something for you. Join us for Scheels grand opening on October 19th.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park continues into December with plenty of winning primetime action. Top Oklahoma bred athletes are featured Oklahoma Classics Night, Friday, October 18th. The $1 Million Night of Stakes Racing features the best the state has to offer. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Wednesday through Saturday. First race nightly, 6:30 p.m. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
And welcome back inside the Scheels, the incredible sports superstore. Talk about all the different areas they have, all the departments they have. But one of the biggest ones, as you can expect in Oklahoma, is fishing. And they got a fishing expert right here with us. Joining us on the show is Alec Murphy. Alec, good to have you on Oklahoma Sports Scene, and I bet you're ready to open this place, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm pumped. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, we can't wait to get the doors open.
I love the fact that some of the experts are locally based, locally experienced here in Oklahoma.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm born and raised here. Grew up in Claremore, Oklahoma, just about 30 minutes down the road.
And you participated in their fishing group, and also went on to Rogers State University and participated with them as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I started a high school fishing team at Claremore High School when I was a junior, and qualified for the state championship there, and went on to win the state championship my senior year in 2017.
So Scheels is all about locals. So how did you get on the Scheels team?
So I applied at the Colony back in like December, which is our Dallas location. I was just kind of looking around at some different jobs, and saw we had one opening up here in Tulsa, so I applied for that one, and they called me and came in for the interview, and obviously I did something right because I'm sitting here. So, but yeah, they it's just an awesome place to work. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Well, what is your favorite type of fishing?
Bass fishing.
Bass fishing.
I like crappie fishing.
Yeah.
I'm fine with going and catching some perch as well, but bass fishing is my passion for sure.
So tell us, what are some of the features that make Scheels so special for the anglers?
So, what makes Scheels special, from the angler customer perspective would be the fact that we have true experts in our stores. Like, I'm no pro fisherman by any means, but I have done some tournaments and stuff in my day, and high school fishing, college fishing, I know my way around bass fishing. All of our guys, Hunter, Charlie, Jake, they're all experts. They're all really good people. So just the experts we have is what's really going to make a difference for the customers.
Talk about the equipment you offer. And it goes from everything from the flies to the lures to everything they need to be an expert fisherman.
Right, yeah. I mean, rods, reels, we here at Scheels, we're a premium retail company, so we do carry some of the higher end, top tier things like Shimano, G Loomis, Daiwa, Mega Bass, just a few, of the top tier brands we do carry. But some of the stuff might be pricey, but like I say, we carry a lot of premium, really, really good products.
And really something for everyone spectrum here, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, not everything's, really expensive. We have anything from, Zebco and Zoom all the way up to, like I said, Mega Bass or 6 cents. So we got everything from, your average stuff all the way up to your top tier premium stuff.
And they have someone like you, Alec, the expert, to talk about, get some tips, get some ideas, get some suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking into getting into some bass this fall, I mean, come in, talk to one of our experts. Like I say, we got anything and everything in between. So just come talk to us and we can get any of y'all hooked up.
So what makes Scheels such a special place to work?
It's really just the culture and it's the people. I mean, you can go anywhere down the street and get just about anything we carry, but it's our people that truly set us apart and make us different. The culture here is awesome. Everybody's walking around and high-fiving each other and smiling, and everyone's here to have a good time. So we truly do. We do smile and wave and high-five all day long. We love it here.
Well, when the doors open October 19th, 9:30 in the morning, where do you go in this store to find fishing?
You're gonna walk in the main entrance. You're gonna walk to the Ferris wheel, find the big double stairs. You're gonna go up the stairs all the way around to Wilderness Mountain, and you'll walk into our giant 40,000 square foot fishing shop.
40,000 square feet. That's just fishing.
Of 40,000 square feet of just fishing.
What's been some of your favorite things here as you see them stock these shelves?
Oh, well, the first thing that comes to mind is our glide bait case. You walk down the main tile of the fishing shop and you turn to the left at the end. We got this big, giant, tall glide bait case. Greenleaf lures is probably our top ones that we carry, the most expensive ones, and they're beautiful. They're awesome.
Mentioned Scheels stores in 16 states around the country, and I was asking the guys earlier here about why it takes so long to get to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a great state, especially for fishing.
Right. Well, they're more so based out of the north.
Yeah.
They've been slowly working their way down south. We got one in Dallas now, so now we got one in Tulsa. I think it's just they're kind of slowly but surely expanding south, but north is where they got their start.
And I assume there's a way that people can try some of the equipment or get a feel for some of this or how it might work. You help them with that as examples and demonstrations? Some
Like
of
as
these
far
things?
as them coming in and like
Right.
getting it in their hands
Yeah.
first?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if someone wants to pick up a rod and they're thinking about pairing it with one of the reels we got, I can take one of the reels off display, put it on the rod. I mean, they can, I'd even go as far as spooling it up for them and putting out a 5-gallon bucket and letting them try and cast inside the bucket. You know what I mean? I want to get them in their hands and make sure they feel it and like it first.
So how's the fishing in Oklahoma this time of year as we move into October in the fall?
It's good. It's good. Fall and spring are my 2 favorite times of the year to fish for sure. But to me, there's nothing better than a cool, crisp 60-degree morning, a little bit of fog rolling across the water. I love fishing in the fall.
And again, there's so many opportunities here. There's so many different things that involve you with Scheels, but I was so impressed walking through this store, again, at the enthusiasm of the employees and just the atmosphere here.
Right, yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, we're all just happy to be here, happy to be around each other. We all love each other. You're going to talk to our bike expert, Carter, here pretty soon. We started on the same day, and, as far as I'm concerned, he's one of my brothers now. So,
Alec Murphy, he is the expert when it comes to fishing here at Scheels. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. It was a blast.
Got a great time here to come in, and you fishermen, you won't believe this place. Again, October 19th, the opener of the Scheels Superstore in Oklahoma. Right back with now a bike expert next on the deck for us.
Hello, Tulsa. Scheels All Sports Store is opening October 19th at the Woodland Hills Mall. Join us in the parking lot for the grand opening party at 7 a.m. with doors officially opening at 9:30. Step inside to the ultimate retail experience. Shop your favorite brands, meet our Scheels experts, and enjoy entertainment like a Ferris wheel or Fuzzy-Wig's Candy Factory. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Scheels has something for you. Join us for Scheels' grand opening on October 19th.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Tulsa Oilers hockey at the BOK Center. The ultimate experience of hockey and entertainment. Save big on season tickets today. Full season tickets starting as low as $17 per month for all 36 home games. Get your season tickets at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. Experience hard-hitting, glove-dropping, pulse-pounding, glass-rattling kind of thrill. Season tickets available now at TulsaOilers.com. That's TulsaOilers.com. This is your town, your team, your Tulsa Oilers hockey.
Reminder again, the date, October 19th, the grand opening of Scheels, 9:30 in the morning. Go to all these apartments, you won't believe what they have here, including you bike enthusiasts. Boy, you're in for a treat. The guy to talk about is our bike expert, Carter Van Beber, another local kid, and you are a kid. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Oh my gosh. Talk about your expertise in bikes.
Well, it all started from a really young age, just growing up, going to ride bikes through the neighborhood with my friends, and it slowly turned into going on bikes down the mountain every week.
There's so many different types of bikes now, and you're a mountain bike guy, right?
Yes, sir.
What else do you offer here at Scheels?
Oh, we carry a whole lot from road bikes. We have some hybrid bikes, mountain bikes, electric bikes, and we even carry some hunting bikes.
And what does Scheels offer in terms of bike accessories? I went to that place, it's just packed with stuff.
Yeah, there is a lot of accessories. We have a whole section we like to call our customization station. After we get a customer set up with a bike that they're interested in, we'll take them through the station of picking out different colors of water bottle cages, grips and pedals, all sorts of different things.
And in my earlier days, I was very frustrated trying to put bikes together.
Yeah.
It ended up looking like a gun rack. So you guys do it all right here, right? You get a bike here, it's all ready to go, right?
Yes, sir. We have a full service shop here with certified technicians who are ready to work on any bike that comes to the door. We'll work on any bikes that not are only bikes that we will sell to the customer, but if somebody has a bike that we don't sell, they can bring it in and we're willing to work on it and get it cleaned up for them.
Even a wash and a detail area here, right, for bicycles?
Yes, sir.
Gosh.
Yes, we have a a full section where we'll detail it. We'll have different levels of detailing, and we just want to let the customer leave with a nice shiny bike again.
So what's new in terms of the bicycle world? What are the new things in store here?
New things. One thing that I think is going to be big out here is our electric hunting e-bikes. It's something that's pretty new to the market within the last couple of years, and I just think it's going to do incredible here as far as they're just big, fat tire bikes. You can load all your stuff on the back and bring it out into the woods.
You don't have to pedal, right? It's electric.
You can pedal if you'd like,
Okay.
or there's a throttle as well.
Wow. And again, I think of the pleasure bikes, and also the young kids. What is your area as far as the kids' bikes?
Kids bikes, we're going to have anything from what we call our striders. They're going to have no pedals. It's for little kids just to push around with their feet. And then we'll get up into, slowly, we'll have about 3 or 4 different sizes of bikes before they get into an adult bike.
Well, the range is incredible, and the accessories, you won't believe around here and stuff. Safety always a big thing with bikers. I know helmets, lights. Talk about some of the safety issues.
Yes, sir. We are definitely going to carry everything to keep our customers safe. We'll have helmets, pads, and we just want to have our customers' bikes set up to them when they leave the store. So we'll have their suspension set up to their weight. We'll have their tires aired up to their weight. We're going to make sure that they have the safest ride possible because we want our customers to have a great experience outside of the store as well.
Just incredible. All this available, of course, right here at Scheels. October 19th, the opener opens at 9:30 to 9, and of course on Sundays, a little reduced hours there. A lot of special events coming up. You guys sound like you're geared up, ready for that opener, huh?
I am so ready.
How much time have you put into this store to help get everything set up here?
Well, just like Alec, we both started in March, so, you know, from teaching new hires to building our shops, it's been a lot of hands-on work, and we're pumped to get open.
What kind of brands of bicycles are we talking about? All I ever knew about was Schwinn and stuff like that, so I'm long past that.
Sure. So we are a Trek dealer. All of our main mountain bikes, road bikes, hybrid bikes are going to be Trek. As far as electric bikes,
that's top of the line, right? The Trek.
Trek.
Brand, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
We're going to have Electra. We'll have Quiet Cat, Baku. We'll even have some Jackrabbits.
It just blows your mind. If you waited to see this place, get into this place. Now, again, as we talked before with the fishing, how do they find you once they come into this massive store?
So you're going to head straight through the doors, go under the beautiful aquarium, and you're going to head straight to the back right corner of our store on the first floor.
And how much space do you have there for bikes?
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure the square footage, but it'll blow you away.
Everything does here at Scheels, believe me. Again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is their bike expert, Carter Van Bever, and look up him, and I'm sure you got some other guys on the floor who can help people out as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Thanks again. Again, so much to offer here at Scheels. We'll talk more about this store as we end up on the show, but let's go first to Remington Park. We have the Oklahoma Derby to show you in its entirety, another big race in California this week. So horse racing is right next after we wrap up our bikes. Thanks again for joining us.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park continues into December with plenty of winning primetime action. Top Oklahoma bred athletes are featured Oklahoma Classics Night, Friday, October 18th. The $1 Million Night of Stakes Racing features the best the state has to offer. The normal Remington Park Racing Week is Wednesday through Saturday. First race nightly, 6:30 p.m. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations.
Our story. It lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
As the sun rises over eastern Oklahoma, we are devoted to one thing: improving the health of our communities, our home. We are your friends, your neighbors. We are the people of St. Francis.
Hello, Tulsa. Scheels All Sports Store is opening October 19th at the Woodland Hills Mall. Join us in the parking lot for the grand opening party at 7 a.m. with doors officially opening at 9:30. Step inside to the ultimate retail experience. Shop your favorite brands, meet our Scheels experts, and enjoy entertainment like a Ferris wheel or Fuzzy-Wig's Candy Factory. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Scheels has something for you. Join us for Scheels' grand opening on October 19th.
From the Scheels Superstore in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we're going to take you now to Oklahoma City, Remington Park, their biggest day of racing. The only Sunday they have on the thoroughbred card in the fall. It was a monster race card. The feature, though, the $400,000 Oklahoma Derby. We'll wrap it up. Dale Dane, the man who called the race, and also we'll show you the entire running of the Oklahoma Derby.
Oklahoma Derby Day at Remington Park had beautiful weather and a really great crowd to go along with the great racing. Prior to the big races, lots of festivities were taking place on Track Level North, with many people competing for cash prizes and enjoying some of Oklahoma's finest. First up on our highlights from Oklahoma Derby Day, the $100,000 David M. Vance Sprint at 6 furlongs for 3-year-olds and older. Wide, running on, here comes Run Classic, and up the rail, saving ground, a kick now from U.S. Army. Top of the stretch in the Vance, it's Jackson Traveler there by a pair. U.S. Army trying to get through at the rail, Ranch Badge still game, and Run Classic trying to stride on with work to do, furlong to go, and Jackson Traveler is up by 4 now, and holding sway. Run Classic and U.S. Army can only watch. Jackson Traveler going on here. Jackson Traveler now a millionaire, winning the Vance Sprint by 4. Jackson Traveler made it 2 straight wins this season at Remington Park and did go over the $1 million mark in career earnings with the score in the Vance. It was the 11th career victory for Jackson Traveler, owned by West Point Thoroughbreds of Saratoga Springs, New York. Steve Asmussen trainer Stuart Elliott, the winning jockey. It was the first win in the Vance for all connections of Jackson Traveler. 3-year-old fillies were next on the highlights from Derby Day in the $200,000 Remington Park Oaks at 1 mile and a 16th. There was a big battle up front through most of the race between Miss Code West, the Oklahoma bred, and Alpine Princess. Inside Miss Code West, outside Alpine Princess. Quarter mile to go. Lemon S is third now, beginning to gain. Likewise, Chi Chi in fourth. Top of the stretch, Alpine Princess is there, and it's now on top by a pair. Miss Code West doesn't have an answer, is chasing second. Lemon S is third and gaining. Inside the furlong pole, Alpine Princess going on here in a big way under Florent Giroux. Alpine Princess will easily take the Remington Park Oaks. Alpine Princess duked it out with Miss Code West, but when she had enough, it was enough. She pulled away with ease under jockey Florent Giroux for Full of Run Racing and Madiket Stables, owners of Louisville, Kentucky. Trainer Brad Cox, the winner with Alpine Princess, the first victory in the Remington Park Oaks for all of those connections. Finally, the main event, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby at 1 1/8 miles. Scratch the 3 Canada Gate, scratch the 8 Society Man, 6 loaded up for the biggest race of the season at Remington Park. They're off in the Oklahoma Derby. Good start for all. Inside EJ won the Cup, was on the lead briefly. There goes Most Wanted, wanting it more and going to the front, up by 2 almost as they get to the line first time. Flat Hanby is in there second, battling with Dymatic as they head to the turn. Mina is fourth and outside. Inside Indispensable fifth, waiting for room, and EJ Won the Cup is at the back under Mike Smith, 5 from the lead. Up front, Most Wanted shows the way through the first turn. They're about a little more than a length. Indispensable now got that room inside and quickly goes up to join Most Wanted on the front end. As they go to the backstretch, Dymatic bobbing heads with Flat Hanby with 6 furlongs to go. Gap of 2.5 more. Back to EJ Won the Cup fifth. Mina is the trailer, 9 from the lead. Indispensable now takes over up front. It's Indispensable on the lead with 5 panels left. To half length back to Most Wanted. Dymatic is third, positioned outside, a neck better than Flat Hanby, 3 off the leaders. EJ Won the Cup and Mike Smith now swing out for clear sailing. Fifth, but with all the room they need and starting to advance quickly. Under a half mile left, nothing at the back for Mina. Heading to the final turn. It's indispensable there. Pressed now a little bit more by Most Wanted. There goes EG won the Cup, third and gaining into the bend. Dymatic is fourth, 5 from the front. Flat Hamby trying fifth at the rail. Midway through the turn in the Derby up front, it is Most Wanted getting back against Indispensable. And EJ won the Cup, poised to pounce with a quarter mile left. Dymatic fourth, Flat Wanted digging in and trying to pull away, showing a little bit more, but here comes EJ won the Cup on the outside, and EJ won the Cup, puts a nose on the lead inside the furlong pole. Race on, Most Wanted battling back, very game. Outside EJ won the Cup, inside Indispensable. Most Wanted slight edge late. EJ won the Cup, one more try. Most Wanted stays undefeated to win the Oklahoma Derby. A big battle coming off the turn into the stretch of the Derby. Most Wanted took the early lead off that turn, but EJ won the Cup. A 3-time Derby winner was to the outside, with Indispensable gained to the inside. Jockey Florent Giroux asked for a little bit more, and Most Wanted found it, holding off those two challengers to win the Oklahoma Derby. For jockey Florent Giroux, it was his second win in the Oklahoma Derby. He also won aboard Owendale in 2019. Trained by Brad Cox, his fourth victory in the Oklahoma Derby. This gives him the all-time lead, moving one ahead of Donnie Von Hemel for most wins by a trainer in this race. Gary and Mary West of Omaha, Nebraska win their very first Oklahoma Derby with Most Wanted. Remington Park Racing now moves into October, racing on October 2nd through the 5th. First race nightly, Wednesday through Saturday, is at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. The next big event night coming up at Remington Park, Oklahoma Classics, on Friday, October 18th. At Remington Park in Oklahoma City, I'm Dale Day. Now back to Sports Scene.
All right, thank you, Dale. Now we'll take you to Southern California, Santa Anita Park, the great race place. What a big race they had. The first running of the inaugural $1 million California Crown Stakes. A mile and eighth, top field, including Arkansas Derby winner Muir, the number 5 horse, Muth, number 5. He was the 3-2 favorite, along with a Pegasus World Cup champion, National Treasure, and a Saudi Cup winner, Senor Buscador. Here's the call of the very first running of the $1 million California Crown Stakes.
Flavian Pratt and National Treasure. Past the 5/8 pole in charge, a length and a half to Katona in second. Muth Red Cap 3 deep in third. At the rails, Subsanador with Newgate just behind him, still 4 lengths off the lead with less than a half mile to travel in the California Crown. Still well within himself at the top of the stretch, and he turns for home with a 2-length lead. Subsanador comes out to chase him home, and in the center of the track, Newgate is bearing down in third. Here comes Newgate with big strides after National Treasure. National Treasure, Subsanador, and Newgate. 3 of them line up in an absolute thriller. Subsanador in between horses. Here's the line. Subsanador and Mike Smith to win the California Crown Stakes.
What a finish. 3 horses at the wire. Subsanador, the number 2 horse, 6-1 third choice under Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith, who, by the way, rode on Sunday at Remington Park in the Oklahoma Derby field. Well, Subsanador got his head down at the wire to win the photo between 2 Bob Baffert trained horses. National Treasure was second, a nose ahead of his stablemate, number 1, Newgate. The favorite, Muth, by the way, our Arkansas Derby winner, had a tough race, finished last. Well, it's OU Texas Week coming up next week. The Red River Rivalry from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. We'll get you ready with some very special guests for the show, including Barry Tremmell. He has been to 33 OU Texas games, so he'll have a lot of history to talk about with you, and another surprise guest as well. Also, an early happy birthday to the King. Barry Switzer on Texas Week always has his birthday. It's October the 5th. The King turns 87 years old on Saturday, October 5th. Congratulations and happy birthday, Coach Switzer. Until then, we always remind you, be a good sport.